So this is a very loose CineKuest video that we're going to be doing here today.
Right.
Not really reviews necessarily, but some movie news, a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, not really a lot of stuff to talk about. Maybe go over some trailers, movies
Mm-hmm.
that are coming up that we're excited about,
Yeah.
and some
So
controversy
yeah.
regarding AI in a
Oh
certain
yeah,
movie.
yeah. That shit. Jesus Christ.
Um,
There's so much
I
to it.
have some thoughts on it, but
Hold on. Let me
we'll,
just
we'll get
readjust my
to it.
blankie. There we go. We're set. Let's do
And
this.
you look more comfortable than I am right now.
I'm pretty comfy, and I'm about to get more comfortable here with some liquid comfort.
Damn, that's what I forgot.
Ah,
I was just flying high off of my recent watch of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 2,
I mean, we'll
and
give it a review later, but you can go
yeah,
ahead and while you're mentioning it, just
um,
spill your guts.
I mean, I enjoyed it. That's as much as you'll get out of me for now. I don't want to waste too much on like a very quick gut spillage of what I liked or didn't like about the movie. But I mean, overall, I did enjoy it. I thought it was better than the first one, obviously. Superior. I texted you the minute the movie finished was superior sequel achieved
Right? Yeah.
because I
I
mean
mean, the general
I
rule,
don't
right?
know if we're thinking on the heights and quality of Terminator 2 or Aliens or
Why would you?
Terrifier 2 or
Why
something
would
like
you?
that. But
Okay, there we go. I was
you
like,
know,
why would you start like with those fucking movies? Jesus
because
Christ.
those movies are technically their sequels and they're superior to the originals, so
Okay. No, yeah, I see. I
in
see.
a lot of forms and fashion,
Yeah,
but like
absolutely.
I did tell you that I feel that they took a lot of the money, whatever money they made from that first movie,
Yeah.
and just threw it to this one. But I will say this though, there were no trailers in this movie.
Uh-huh.
I actually got there like 5 minutes after 7 o'clock because I was getting my IC, and the guys I'd imagine the two British guys, the director and the other guy, who I guess wrote and directed the movie, were kind of doing like a little pre-movie. Thanks for coming to see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
Oh,
Honey,
fuck yeah. I
and
love
then
that
they were
stuff.
they were kind of doing like an intro to the Poohniverse and
Yes.
telling what characters that they were gonna bring about and stuff like that. So like they were just kind of just thanking the audience for showing up. And mind you, there was like 5 people, including myself, in the theater only because I mean, there were
That's great.
I mentioned to you this to you before was that there was no one else. You couldn't just see that on the app to purchase a ticket. I had to type in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey before
Those
like the
bitches.
actual showing
Jesus
showed up, which was
Christ.
the one showing for today, which is
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Wednesday, and then one showing for tomorrow, Thursday, both at 7 o'clock. Which I thought I was pretty much screwed because like at that point I'm at work, so I'm like it's not gonna happen. But I was like, ooh, today I dropped whatever I was gonna do. I was like, we're gonna go fucking watch this movie right now.
God
And
damn it.
so
Let me I was
if you're able to, Roland, you watch it. We can do a review on it a little bit more
I'm
thorough.
gonna really try
And
and
if
check
you
that shit
don't,
out this
I'm
weekend.
gonna just do a review myself and bring it out. So
Fine, yeah, no,
because
by all means.
unfortunately with these types of movies, like you have like a small window of opportunity and you got to just jump
Yes.
on it.
Yeah.
And if you miss it, well then you got to wait for streaming or whenever it comes out on DVD or streaming. But I will say this though, as much as I was enjoying the movie, like halfway through, I thought to myself,
Mhm.
man, maybe I should purchase that steelbook of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, the first one that's at Walmart, because I was like, I'm not gonna want this fucking movie. And then I was like watching this one, I'm like, oh, I might actually
Yeah.
want the movie.
And as it
So
is too, like I think the movie would be a lot more enjoyable with copious amounts of alcohol. You know.
yes.
I sent you a quick picture of the Poohniverse poster. I don't know if you can get to it and maybe pop it up on the screen, kind
Well,
of
I could
bit.
probably do it here.
Right on.
Let's see.
Because that would be a pretty good start. I'm thinking for just talking about what's to come,
Yeah,
something to
there's
look
what
forward
is to
to.
come.
Yeah, because apparently
Actually,
there's a bunch
there
out
is a
there.
Variety article about it, and I'll just bring that up here,
All right,
and you can
cool.
kind of see. Uh,
Witness me. Let's see. Most anticipated. I'm just looking up some random stuff here while I'm at it, so no problem. Uh, yep. That's the image I sent you. The
Yeah.
Poohniverse.
So, which was funny about this is that, of course, they were plus. First of all, that's an odd and fucking name, the Poohniverse. You know, because it sounds like you're fucking
You're either talking about poop or punani,
yeah,
or
the
maybe
Punani. It
both.
could be the Punaniverse for all I know. You know.
That sounds
Um.
better.
So they said they're gonna unite Pooh and Bambi and
Mhm.
Tinkerbell and more low budget crossover horror. And of course, if
Right.
you can see it there, that is the image that is
There's let's
showing.
see. There was going to be Peter Pan. There was going to be Bambi.
Here is the actual image of it right
Is
there.
Pinocchio in there? Yeah, I think he is.
I
What
mean, you
else?
see, like you see Bambi, obviously Winnie the
Yeah,
Pooh is
yeah,
riding fucking
yeah,
Bambi, which is hilarious. And
yeah.
then you have Owl, you have Bunny, what Rabbit,
Yeah.
and then you have Tigger over there on that
Yep.
side, and then I'm assuming that chick with the syringe is Tinkerbell.
I think so.
I
Probably.
think. But yeah, Poohniverse. This is obviously a rip on the Avengers,
Yes.
so which is great.
God damn. I mean,
Which
look
is
at
great.
that logo. Almost the same font. It's fucking great.
Right? Yeah, like it's wild.
It's not. I
It is
mean, what's
wild.
not to love? That shit is. Um, I know there are other. There's the Mickey Mouse. Well, Steamboat Willie,
Yeah,
right?
that's coming out also.
Which I think that was also going to have its own. Let me see.
I mean, fingers crossed. It's another universe.
Right. Yeah.
The Mouseiverse. I don't know, the Williverse.
I think that was the joke. The Mouseverse or something like that.
I mean, that'd be pretty
Uh.
stupid, but all right. Like, I mean, that's to say that this isn't stupid, you know. But I mean, like, if
Yeah.
they, I mentioned to Bryce also, like when I texted him and told him the same thing I told you,
Mhm.
and he responded with, "Oh, so like they're gonna continue with the franchise." They go, if they make it as I feel like enjoyable as Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part Two was, then yes, like just continue making these stupid fucking
Mhm.
movies. I will watch them. I mean, I feel like this is kind of like kind of in the vein of like Terrifier, like it's just like just kills and gore and blood and shit like that.
Cabbage.
And I'm down for that. Like
Fuck yeah.
it's just
It's
brain
pretty
dead
hilarious.
gore fest, and I'm here for it.
So I'm not sure if. So I know that the Steamboat Willie was like Mickey's Mousetrap, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another one that I'm not sure if it's a game or if it's also a movie called The Return of Steamboat Willie.
Okay.
I'm looking at a trailer here, and I want to say it might be a game. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah, let's see. Peter Pan, the Neverland Nightmare. The Vanishing of SS Willie, whatever the fuck that is.
What?
I don't know. Let me see really quick. Um,
Well, the fact that you're mentioning those, I do want to mention these. Like it
it
says
does mention Steamboat
it
Willie.
says many of the characters set to appear in the Poohniverse will have a first feature in a standalone films coming this year and following under Jagged Edge's version of the MCU, the Twisted Childhood universe. And it's Bambi the
Great.
Reckoning, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, Pinocchio Unstrung.
Yes,
I
so
mean,
I think
it's
I mentioned it's
so
fucking so goofy.
ridiculous.
I think there's possibly going to
Uh,
be 3 Steamboat Willie movies. I'm not sure. It's Mickey's Mousetrap, an untitled Steamboat Willie horror movie, and I'm thinking it was that other one that I just mentioned, the return of
mhm.
unless it's not of Steamboat Willie. Christ. There's just so much delicious
Yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
Fucking hell. Um let's see. Most anticipated. So I guess aside from that, I was thinking because when you started this, you made an Island of Dr. Moreau reference, and I think I had sent you a link to apparently that one's also getting rebooted. So it's supposedly,
Oh, really?
yeah, I believe the Doctor is going to be played by Anthony Hopkins, which I'm like,
Why can't we have the Val Kilmer? uh, movie standalone. Like, that was
uh,
okay.
let me see. Morrow, Anthony Hopkins. I don't know. I mean, like I'm cool with seeing him in anything, mostly because like Anthony Hopkins is like fucking great at pretty much everything he does. Like the guy's a hardcore dramatic actor, but like he's done
Yeah.
so much fucking awesome horror. You know.
I think you might be able to share your screen if you
Oh,
have
you don't
something to
want me to
show.
share my screen, Ray?
Mm. Uh,
there's 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 too much here to see, Ray. I have such sights that
to
I do
show
not want to show anyone. I mean, or do I?
a bunch of tabs
No,
open
I.
to the non Pornhub.
Right, yeah, the non-Pornhub, non-X hamster, or whatever the fuck, like ones that we've been blocked from. No, I actually think that because I don't think my internet, like if I try to share my screen, I'm pretty sure it'll lag the fuck out of us. So
No worries.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, porn aside. Yeah, so like Anthony Hopkins is to star in, if this is true, Island of Dr. Moreau reimagining.
a
Let's see.
reimagining, not just a remake at all.
Right. Let me see if I got any info here. It's pretty scant. Let's see. Eyes in the Trees. Anthony Hopkins to star in the Island of Dr. Moreau. Eyes in the Trees is going to be directed by Timothy Woodward Jr., who directed well, it says most recently directed the horror comedy Till Death Do Us Part. It's like, that's not recent, is it? Wasn't that the one with fucking? Oh
Um,
no, I'm thinking of Death Becomes Her. I'm sorry. With the fucking Bruce Willis
okay,
comedy.
right. Yeah.
It was like Bruce Willis and I forgot the names of the female actresses. Goldie Hawn, I think, was one of
It's
them.
Goldie Hawn and
Who was the other one? Barbara Streisand? No,
it was not Barbara
it
Streisand.
was fuck. What's that chick's name? Hold on.
No, it was Goldie Hawn and uh, 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 uh,
Meryl
I see
Streep.
her face. Meryl Streep. I see her face
Yeah,
now.
that's why I was like, I see this. I know this bitch's face. I know it. Yeah, Meryl Streep.
But yeah, so it seems like
That could be cool.
it might be
That'd
an
be kind of
interesting
interesting.
interesting
I
like
don't know.
couple years or whatever, because I mean that to me, uh I like when like I like some of my pretentious cinema. I don't get too pretentious, but I mean I like it, but I also like bottom of the barrel nonsense like this too,
Oh yeah,
because like I feel like that's where we're hitting like an extreme with
it's my jam.
the art in film, and then let's just have fun. Let's just have
Bottom
fun
of
doing
the
that.
barrel art,
Yeah.
nouveau.
Yeah, I mean, uh, Return of the Living Dead being pretty much probably my favorite movie of all time.
I need to watch that again.
Um,
I've spent such a long
it
time.
well, that just kind of shows you like where I'm at when it comes to movies. Like I just like to have fun
Yeah.
watching these things.
But yeah, that would be really
Mostly.
great. We'll see. I'm not a fan of remakes and all that shit. Like, it can be so tiresome.
Yeah.
Um, what was it? To think of like the fucking Willy Wonka movie that I never watched. That was like a half musical or some shit with Timothy Chalamet.
Well, that's like a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel. Okay, even worse.
Yeah. Even worse. As much as I am kind of
Okay, that's not right. That's not right. I won't say prequels are worse than like remakes,
reimagined,
but
yeah.
they are like a close second. I fucking hate
Well,
prequels.
I'll tell you this: that
Hate them.
as much as right now, as I have respect for Timothy Chalamet as an actor,
Hmm.
just recently seen Dune and Dune Part Two. I still
Right.
won't watch Wonka. I'm not gonna watch it like ever.
No, fuck that.
It just seems like a useless film that's just gonna be forgotten because,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never even seen the Tim Burton remake with Johnny Depp because I don't want to
I
see
did, and I liked it actually, even though it
I
was
personally don't
hammy. It
want to
was
see Johnny Depp do Johnny Depp as
it.
Wonka. I don't
It's
want to see it.
it is. He's fucking creepy, like in that movie. But like It seems to me like it's super intentional because like
Yeah, yeah,
the character is very like wooden and like robotic,
yeah.
like, and then like that's I guess what he tries to do with it, and it comes off that way. It's like this kid's a fucking shut in. All right, good to know.
Was
Um,
but that's the thing is that like seeing him and just in the trailer itself and his portrayal of
yeah,
Willy Wonka, like I just didn't care for it.
he's just
So
putting out a
I just
fucking.
let the Gene Wilder version stand alone
Oh,
because
absolutely. There's no
everything else
comparison.
was
That
like,
shit is timeless.
yeah.
The thing though that I mean, the reason I thought it was interesting is because I will pretty much watch anything with Tim Burton just to see what the fuck he does. Like I just like his fucking style. And speaking of, I mean, we've got Beetlejuice 2 to look forward to.
Yeah,
It's some fucking somehow like
that's a nice segue. Did you see the trailer to Beetlejuice?
yeah, the
Beetlejuice?
juice is
Yeah,
loose.
the juice is loose.
I was man, like I was reading some articles or whatever talking about that, and they're like, oh yeah, Beetlejuice 2 references the fucking OJ Simpson trial. I was like, what? Because like OJ Simpson, his nickname was Juice or whatever.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
the
like,
juice.
and I was like, no, like, why would you even fucking? There's no fucking way that's a thing. It's like I was like, I figured it would have been cut. If I'm wrong, fine, but like, I figured it would have been obvious because like, Beetlejuice can't say his fucking name out loud.
Right,
So
right.
like, how is he gonna like, shorthand it and like make it sound smooth? It's not gonna be like the Beetle is back, baby. It's like no, the juice is loose. Like
Yeah,
that's fucking like awesome,
yeah.
hilarious, and like smooth, right? So I don't know, like fucking weirdos,
You know,
but like
just a real quick side to that. Are we still like allowed to enjoy the Naked Gun movies with OJ Simpson in it? Because I think he's pretty good in those movies.
I mean, that being said, are you gonna like include Airplane as well?
Is he in Airplane?
Yeah, he was one of the I believe he was one of the pilots.
No, no, that wasn't that. That was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, really? Fuck. I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. It's been such a long time. Maybe I'm thinking of Airplane 2.
Yeah, get fuck off. That's fucking
Wait, you know what? Now I want to know. I'm a fucking idiot,
that's
sure.
Kareem
But
Abdul-Jabbar, and
like,
like I'm almost certain it is
hold
like,
on.
but
No, I
by all
believe
means.
you. I'm looking up Airplane 2. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Um, no, I don't see him in this one. Let me just confirm it then, I guess, while I'm here. Cast. Or maybe they're both in there.
No,
Mm, mm,
no, I
mm.
don't think so.
Negativo. All right, fine. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
There you
the
go.
most baddest of asses mofos ever. Man, I could have fucking sworn though that like I saw maybe it was in a parody or some shit. Some other
Yeah,
I don't know.
Naked Gun.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
probably right. Wasn't that's also gonna get a fucking remake, right?
yeah. It's,
Uh,
apparently, Liam Neeson's supposed to
Liam
play Frank
Neeson.
Drebin. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm I'm actually kind of like looking
I'm
forward to
curious to
that
see how
in a way.
that's gonna
Yeah,
turn out. Yeah.
I am very much like like oh fuck, this could be fucking hilarious or it could be trash, and I'm fine with either.
Well,
um,
I mean that I always reference even right now because how much I can't stand Greg Abbott. Like
yeah,
that
'cause
one scene where
none of us can. He
they
sucks.
they tap OJ when he's in the wheelchair, and then like Frank Drebin and Lisa Priscilla Presley are like gonna kiss each other. They're like, "Oh, Frank, like I love you," and you just see like OJ like going down the
Like
steps, going,
rolling, yeah.
and then like he hits the end and flips over. I was like, someone needs to do that fucking Greg Abbott. I'm sorry, like, cause fuck that guy.
Oh yeah, he's trash. Another good scene to put him in would be in Mac and Me when the kid falls off the fucking like edge and then goes ah and falls into the water. Somebody could just put his face on that, and I'd be
Yeah,
happy. Like
superimpose Greg Abbott's
yes.
face on that kid. Yeah.
Oh, it would be
Or
fucking
even like
great.
that deleted scene whenever like the alien or
It,
they're all fighting each other and the kid gets
yeah,
shot. Just
yeah, yes. And then it ends right there.
it
It's
just
like
ends
no,
like
it was
no,
like all
no one
right.
gets resurrected or anything. Yeah.
Woo, great ending. It's
Awesome
such a happy
ending.
ending, and everyone lived happily ever after the end.
I'm not condoning violence against a
No,
political person. I am just
douchebag.
having fun with superimposing his face on these characters, these
Hmm.
fictional characters. Okay, just
Hmm.
FYI.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Wink.
Beetlejuice 2 might be kind of interesting. I mean, like I believe they pretty much brought everyone back, of course, except for what the fuck was the guy's name?
The dad.
Yeah, the pedophile.
Yeah, man. You know that's heartbreaking as shit, man. Because he's in so many movies that I like,
Yeah,
and he's like like I enjoy his characters and shit, and then like to find out that he's that, like it's just so fucking. It sucks so much.
yeah. It's
What a piece of shit,
um Jeffrey Jones. Yeah.
Jeffrey Jones.
So god damn it, dude. Like, yeah, he's in so many fucking interesting movies. And then like was it early 2000s or so is when he got
Yeah.
caught like soliciting shit from a fucking 14-year-old. Like, you fucking
Mm.
weirdo. Why? That's like, oh god, he pulled a Kevin Spacey like before Kevin Spacey was the thing with that. And
Now
like,
he's pulling he's just taking part in the tradition of Hollywood that even with that Quiet on the Set
yeah.
documentary that just came out. Did you watch that? I saw that.
Uh-uh.
It's
That's
it's 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 fucked up. Like it's really fucked up.
it just makes you think like back to all the like his movies, and it's like he's not playing a character. That's him just being a fucking weirdo. God damn it. God damn it. Fucking Hollywood. I think he was actually in a movie what in like 2019, 2018? Not
I don't
sure.
know. Like I mean, I don't know how far like
Hold
he,
on, hold on, hold on. I was looking at it.
whatever's going on with that guy.
2016. No, no. Yeah. In on TV, he's in 2019. He was in the Deadwood the movie, whatever the fuck that is. I don't quite recall. And in 2016, he was in 7 Days, which it says he was in himself. So no, I think it's a short, probably a short film. I don't fucking know anything about it. But the little I know about the Beetlejuice fucking plot is that like when they start it and like they're all standing or at the fucking like
Yeah, it was a
cemetery,
funeral. Yeah.
it's for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, ah, fuck you.
Well, cool.
Get
They killed
fucked.
him off in the beginning of the movie. Awesome.
It's a great way to start it.
Um,
Fuck this guy.
but I like the fact that they kind of like got like that wide shot of everyone. You know, you have Winona Ryder, you have I forget her name, but the mom, and then you have like Jenna Ortega there too, and that
Yeah.
other person. I don't know where Othos is, if he's alive still or if he shows up. Like who knows?
Um,
But I like the way they have that still gothic aesthetic
that's
going. You know,
actually that I think that guy to the far on the far left is
left.
Willem Dafoe.
Nah.
He's in there. He's in the movie.
Interesting.
So, but you're talking about Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Which I was like, fucking cool. Yeah, she still
Um,
looks hilarious and awesome. Super cool lady. Um,
well, she's been in like shit the show Schitt's Creek for a while. I mean, I know that ended already, I believe. So
I've
but
heard of it.
she's back on it,
Never.
you know.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
glad to see her in anything really.
yeah,
Like
for sure. I mean,
she's just fucking cool. Um, yeah, I was okay. Going a bit more with the reboots. There's the fucking Crow movie that's coming out.
what did you think about
Which
that?
I at first I was very much against it because it's like, oh, they're gonna make him like too emo. Like he needs to stay like Deftones emo, not like
No, well, see,
screamo
the
emo.
since you haven't been around recently, I was talking about it with Bryce, obviously, and he the first thing he said, and I agreed with him when he said this, is that they made him a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
A
I was thinking
SoundCloud
that,
rapper who's like trying to be John Constantine kind of thing is, I think,
well,
the
I was thinking to myself, I
joke.
go, are they gonna like redo the scene? You know the scene in the original whenever he's on the roof and he's like playing the guitar and stuff. I
Yeah.
go, is he gonna be up on the roof
He's gonna be
practicing
on a
his rhymes and
DJ.
shit?
He's gonna be with a fucking turntable. Hold
He's
on.
gonna be a mumble rapper on the fucking.
Yeah, dude. So I don't give a shit about Skarsgård. He's great. on his own
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah. Mhm.
The plot is probably going to be exactly the same, like the little I've seen of it. I just want to see how they're going to take the action, because like I think
Well,
some
from
people
from what
were
I saw on
complaining.
the trailer, it looks pretty cool. Like it looks a
Yeah,
little bit more excessive.
I think that that might be one of the complaints from folks or whatever. It's like, oh, it's Crow Constantine. It's like, do you know the original comic? Like, I know that a lot of it meant to be atmospheric and brooding and dark, but like he also fucks people up like
Yeah.
sideways, and if I want to see more of that, cool. Like that's literally what his character's supposed to do. Like he's a badass. Like just do not fuck with him because he's going to wreck your shit. And let me count the ways, right? Like
I think personally the only thing I'm kind of well I'm willing to give this one a chance. All right, like
yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I
But
granted
I
granted he looks ridiculous.
I don't hold. And I've talked about this before. The original in such high regard. I like the movie. I think
Yeah,
it's a good movie. I just think it's an overrated movie.
absolutely.
And I
and
stand by
and
that.
and and that's fine, because for the simple reason it is the only good one. How many fucking Crow sequels are
Yeah.
there? Like 3 or 4, and no one talks about that. They're like, oh,
I enjoy the
Brandon Lee
second
was.
one. I enjoy the second one also. I mean, I like the first one better, obviously, but the second one's not terrible. But they get progressively fucking worse.
Yes, and somehow like they all have like quite notable actors. Is Tony Todd in the second one or the third one?
Uh,
And what's her
I
face
don't recall, but
from the first one? She makes the little girl. Doesn't she make a comeback in like for the second as like
see,
a?
I don't know if it's the same girl or not. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if that's the same girl.
Let's see.
But I know Kirsten Dunst comes out in one.
Yeah.
And then because that crow motherfucker looks bad, and then I don't know whose idea it was to get Edward Furlong to play the crow at some point. Him being short,
Yeah.
and then him having that high pitched voice whenever he's like, if he's trying to like show that he's aggressive and like threatening, he all you hear is "Wah,
Yeah,
wah."
that's the start of like the fucking like almost like the pre-meme to the fucking like Dark Knight Joker. Why so serious, but like the internet version of these people like, oh, I live in a society. Like, get the fuck off. Like you're fucking embarrassing yourselves and anyone else that listens to
I personally believe that whenever this new one comes out, there's going to be a resurgence of the old ones and even the other sequels as well. So like,
Oh,
we'll see
I
how
enjoy
much.
them, but not because I think they're good movies. And then
Right.
there's the fucking TV series as well. It's the
Hey, well,
bits and pieces I caught of
that
that.
that has Mark Dacascos in it, right? Show some
I
respect.
exactly. You're proving my fucking point, dude. Like there is so much fucking Thai Trang is in the second one. The fucking Yellow Ranger, the
Yeah,
original
yeah, and Iggy
Iggy
Pop
Pop,
too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like give me a fucking break. So
But I still say that like the fact that the original is the when Brandon Lee died is why like it has such high regard for some people because I mean
yeah,
I don't really know if people like are fans of Brandon Lee or they're just fans of Brandon Lee as the Crow because
I'd
like
have to say that second.
are y'all motherfuckers watching Rapid Fire? Are y'all
Yeah.
motherfuckers watching Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee? Are y'all
Yeah.
watching Kung Fu, The Resurgence with David Carradine and Brandon Lee? Are y'all? Or y'all
Mhm.
just watching The Crow, and that's the only movie you know of Brandon Lee? Because
I
I mean,
mean, yeah, cuz like we need to check this one out too. Is Laser Mission. Another absolute garbage. That came out 2 years before Showdown in Little Tokyo, and his acting is exactly the same. Fucking terrible. I so the main reason I think that he's even good in The Crow is because he doesn't have very many lines, if I'm not mistaken. Like a lot of it is just in his look and in his fucking action, like in his
first
film.
of all, he looks great
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
Crow,
he does. Yeah, he
and I
fits.
mean,
He fits
he fits the
the
part, you know.
character. Yeah, he really does.
And I mean, he's also not overbearing as a character. Like he's still kind of, I feel like he's still kind of reserved,
Right,
and
that's
that's
the
why
thing.
he's not hamming it up. And I think that's why it
So
plays well, you know,
yeah, I think that the
because
director.
you could
Yeah,
ham the shit up.
yeah. The director of that movie, I think, has come out saying that there shouldn't be a remake. This Brandon Lee is the only, a real Crow, and all. And I was like, bro, what about the sequels? Like, you should not say
Yeah, right? Shut the fuck up.
anything. Shut
Shut the
up.
fuck
Just
up,
say like, I loved Brandon Lee in this one. Like, don't say anything like, oh, there shouldn't be another one. This is the definitive Crow. I was like, well, what about all the ones that came after, you dumb bitch? If that was the
Yeah.
definitive one,
You
what
shouldn't
was
have.
up with that shit?
Why didn't you try and stop fucking Edward Furlong becoming the
Yeah,
Crow? Like,
Jesus Christ. I yeah, that's some
I
fucking
mean,
ridiculous
to be
bullshit.
honest with you, we could take this new one that's coming out as The Crow Part 5, because I mean, realistically,
The
I
story's
mean, the other
redone
ones
every
don't have
time.
any. I don't think, unless it's the second one, other than the fact that the little girl is supposed to be a character in the second one. I don't know
Yeah,
if it translates any further than that. Like, I don't know if they're connected in any way, shape, or form,
I don't
because
think
the
they
crow
are.
itself, I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, like, is independent of like one person. Like, it kind of like goes depending on where
Yeah,
is
yeah,
needed.
yeah. It's like it's just like a death, vengeance, justice, spirit of whatever the fuck, and
A
it just
vengeance bird.
it it goes wherever, where, wherever it's needed for the sequels.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
Unfortunately, it found
only.
its way into the neighborhood with Edward Furlong.
Yeah, god damn it. Oh, so I mean, that being said, like, yeah, I think I kind of like the dripping paint of black paint on
Yeah,
Skarsgård.
yeah.
I do kind of like some of the in the trailer, the teaser, whatever, like some of the imagery that they use in there, where he's like sort of drowning in this like oily pool of like
Mhm.
blood and uh I don't know, crow juice. whatever the hell that shit is. Like, that was kind of a cool little image to that, but
Yeah. I
like,
think the one thing that kind of drove people, and I would say to me, like, I found it somewhat silly, is whenever like he's trying to look all fucking tough, putting on the jacket, and he has that fucking
yeah,
tattoo around his nip, the
yeah,
the eye, and everyone's just like, "God damn it, dude!" And then immediately, and I'm pretty sure most people thought,
yeah.
Joker damaged Jared Leto.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
You know what I thought? I was like, oh, cool. This looks like and I had to look up a picture just to refresh my memory. Like emo Machine Gun Kelly. I
Oof.
mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think.
No,
Oh,
I don't think you're far off when you say that. I mean,
oh, he looks like
that
a
kind of
twat.
looks like him. Yeah.
He looks like an absolute cunt rag.
You give him a pink guitar too.
That's a man's color.
That's a
That shit was
man's
taken away from
color.
us by the Nazis, and and what did they do? They gave us the girl color. All of a sudden, it's blue for boys. Get fucked. That's some bullshit. And then who the fuck is bringing it back? Who's taking that shit back for men everywhere? Fucking Machine Gun Kelly. Fuck.
Man,
I mean,
he got
what a hero.
totally jammed up by fucking Eminem. He had to change genres.
Oh, he's like, no. I was gonna be like, yeah, edgy, fucking Vanilla Ice, but it's like, no, I'm okay with Vanilla
I I
Ice. He's-
I'm over here looking at Vanilla Ice and his hardcore stint, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's fucking legit.
Ninja
His
rap, baby.
hardcore version of like fucking Ice Ice Baby. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Do it. Do it, cowards. Oh man. Okay, so let's kind of move on from that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's I still haven't watched the first one, but I've seen clips of it, and I've seen some concept art of the actual demon from the Smile Demon, right? So that one's getting a sequel.
Oh, the Smile? Yeah.
I've read the premise. I meant to watch it, but I didn't really give a shit because it just annoyed me to see the like every time the fucking stupid smile. I just wanted to like slap those people every time they were like, But like, I love that.
Smile was okay. I mean, it was
I
okay.
like that ending credit or whatever, where like the actual fucking cursed demon comes out,
Yeah.
and that was like, that's fucking interesting. Like, that's a cool design, like, and like a cool like sort of like effect they implemented to it. But like, so it's getting a sequel, right? I don't know shit about it. And I think that's billed to come out in October.
There's like another Spider movie coming out called like Sting, right? And one called
Sting.
Long Legs too. I believe it's
Long
another
Legs, I
Spider type
thought
of
looked
movie. Yeah,
Long Legs look cool. I mean, like that was one of the trailers I checked out at Immaculate. I
yeah.
played, which I was like, oh, fucking cool. The other one you're talking about, I don't know if I saw Delio for it. It was called Infested, right?
I haven't seen that.
I think it's a Shutter. It's premiering on Shutter
Nice. Do you think
in
this is
April,
gonna give
actually.
a resurgence of popularity to arachnophobia or like eight-legged freaks?
So it's funny that you mentioned arachnophobia
You know,
because
arachnophobia is
I
like
thought
been
it
forgotten
had
a bit,
some.
right?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
it's been forgotten, and that's a shame. It's Jeff Daniels, fucking John Goodman. Come on now.
Hmm.
Oh, and
Yeah.
the mom who worked on the Red Queen. She was in the Red Queen, the mom from
Yeah.
Arachnophobia.
Just your piece de resistance
Yeah,
involvement with the true theater, Ray, and I
yeah, and
wish I
if
could have had that experience.
if
But
you can see Roland like behind me, I
oh,
have a
you have it
ticket
there. Yeah, there it
right
is.
there,
Yeah,
right there.
I remember because that's
Yeah, you framed it. Yeah,
I fucking framed. I kept the damn thing and then I forgot about it. I was like, what the fuck? And I just remember sending you a picture and you're like, what?
yeah.
I was like, you
You
want it?
kept that shit?
um, it's all right. You can like you should take a picture of that and put it up on the screen later or something.
Yeah, sure.
Funny as fuck. I mean, not funny as fuck, but like appropriately funny.
Yeah.
Amusing. Yeah, I was trying to look at the one for the trailer. I saw the trailer for Long Legs, but since I've slept since then, like it's
Yeah,
gone.
left. Yeah,
I just thought it looked really interesting and
it looked cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Let me see. Oh, it's a period piece. Takes place in 1974.
yeah. I think
Uh,
it has Nicolas Cage in it, doesn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the killer or something because I don't think he was in the trailer at all, unless I'm mistaken.
Well, I saw another. I don't know if it was this one, but I saw one where he's with two other kids, and they're kind of like
Oh,
fighting. I don't know. I
that's
forgot that what
no.
that was called.
That is. Hold on. I saw that one too, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But like, I didn't see it when I went to go check out that upcoming. I know that one though. Uh, Arcadian, I think. Is that
Arcadian,
one?
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
seems kind of interesting.
Fuck
Also,
yeah, it actually does. It seems pretty interesting and also kind of similar to another movie that I was looking at that played, or another trailer, excuse me, called the was it The Watchers?
yes, something like that. Yeah.
Which let me see.
Is that that's that
Watchers.
M Night Shyamalan's daughter?
Yeah, Ishana.
Yeah,
Ishana Knight,
yeah. Maybe she can.
which do a better job than he did.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
That looks kind of cool
She's
too.
like, I'm just gonna do everything that you didn't, Dad.
Like, I'm gonna just recreate the Sixth Sense multiple times and keep that formula because you had to stray and fuck up your entire career.
Yeah, you had to go and make Avatar.
Oh, the Airbender one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the stench bender.
the stench bender.
Fucking, and that's the thing.
Look,
That's
I will say
parents
that
don't know how to use soap, but
uh,
trash
M Night
bender,
Shyamalan,
shit bender,
I like a lot of his movies, but
caca bender.
Sixth
Sorry.
Sense,
Yeah, that's it.
which is the alien one?
Um,
Signs. I like
Signs.
Signs.
Ray. Wow.
I love
You almost
Signs.
disappointed me. I know you do. That's why you almost disappointed me there for a second. I was like, even I know that. And I
Yes.
did not like Signs. I liked the idea and like parts of it, but
I know it's always the ending, right? The
yeah,
ending
the
kind of like
ending
fucks
was
with people, you know. I
so
get it,
fucking dumb.
I get, but like I would say like 90% of the movie is enjoyable still. Like,
Hmm.
and I like
Arcadian kind of
I like
follows.
Devil, you know. I like Devil.
Yeah,
I like that
I
one.
would
I
have
like
liked
The Visit. I
I
like
would
that
have
one
liked that
also.
when I hadn't guessed like the premise and the end too. And I think I fucking told you, and you're like, yeah, what was this? I'm like, God
It's I guess to your detriment, Roland, your ability to kind of like pinpoint things, and then
So depressing.
regurgitate them out of your mouth, while I'm in earshot, and then I'm just like, "Fuck."
I'm not happy about it. Like I really not, because I know it annoys the fuck out of people.
I will
I've
say I'm a bit more forgiving because granted, even if I do know what's gonna happen, it doesn't necessarily take me out of the movie. Like I can still enjoy it
I
regardless.
yeah, it it's not something I do on purpose. Like it just happens. Like I'm watching a fucking movie and all of a sudden, oh, it's this and this, and it pops in my head. I'm like, God damn it, shut
Yeah,
up.
like just have like a thought in your head and you're like, "Bok, bok, 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 bok," and then,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Um
Regardless, it's fine.
yeah,
Um,
I've had that happen when I've gone to theaters with other friends and over time, and like I remember one of them started complaining because he started doing it too. And he's like, "Fuck, I'm doing that shit that you're fucking guessing, and I hate it." And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry." Um,
um, uh,
what else do we got here?
other trailers, movies I want to watch that are coming up. The Sasquatch Sunset. I talked
Mm,
about it with Bryce. Uh,
yes,
the new Joker one that's coming out, which apparently is gonna have it's gonna be more. They call it a
musical.
jukebox
Yeah,
musical.
was it?
Or it's gonna be like cover songs and stuff like that. I don't know what cover songs they're gonna be, but we'll find out.
Yeah,
It might be in the same vein as like Moulin Rouge, the one that came out back in the day with Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman and stuff, because where they did like a bunch of covers and stuff. They did
yes.
that. I enjoyed that, so like that might not be far off. I'm not a musical person per se, but something like that might entice me because I know the songs and it's not
Hmm,
necessarily
hmm,
just saying,
hmm.
"I am eating breakfast," and "Who are you doing?" And then like I hate that shit. I fucking hate
The
it.
fucking who is it? Is it Gary Newman? I forget the name of the musician. Where he's like he plays the fucking piano and just like talks one step after another,
No,
like
I think you're thinking Randy Newman, my man.
Randy Newman. Thank you.
Yeah,
I always fuck
I
up.
got a friend in me. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, yeah. Where he's just making a song. I think that like Family Guy parodied it at one
They
point,
did. Someone
where he's like
parodied
on
his
a
motherfucker.
beach and like one of the characters goes up and she takes a bite of an apple. It takes a bite of an apple,
Yeah,
one bite,
2
choose
bites.
it. Yeah, two bites, choose it.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
yeah.
fuck off.
That's Randy Newman, my man.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
The new Alien Romulus looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Fucking Ridley Scott and James Cameron. Well, I know Ridley Scott seems has enjoyed it. Seems supposedly. I think James Cameron has as well. So it's like that works for me. The trailer looked pretty cool. It was very reminiscent of the first and the third Alien
Mm,
movies. Very claustrophobic. Very just like, all right, let's film all this shit in the corridor.
yeah,
And like turn all the lights off, and it's like cool, perfect, keep doing that, but like none of the like no jump scares, please. I just want them to turn away or something and they're dead, or like
yeah, yeah, for sure.
wah. Cuckoo, fucking
Cuckoo, yeah, that looks
that
pretty cool. Like,
looked
I'm down to watch that. Yeah,
interesting. Like the monster for that one looked like some kind of twitchy like bird person, like half bird and
like
uh
it's rare for me
whatever.
to kind of like get like a little bit of a creep out
Yes,
whenever I'm
and it
watching the
does
trailer.
it does a pretty
When
cool
she's when
job.
she's riding the bicycle and then she turns around and the thing's behind her, I'm like,
Right
ah,
there,
shit,
yeah.
like fuck that. Old
I
fucking hag, dude. Old fucking
Yeah.
hag is what it
Yes,
is.
that's
Like,
exactly what it is, and, like, I like that too because it wasn't a jump scare. Because
it wasn't,
she looks
no.
down, she sees the shadow of it right behind
Yeah,
her,
and
and
then
it's
you just
just
kind of like turn around
like,
slowly and just like,
"Yep."
yeah, it's just like,
And then, like, I think again when there was a character, like, in their bedroom or something, and it
mhm.
like, you see the fucking monster, like, sort of peer around the corner and then kinda, like, slowly
Yeah,
twitch
yeah,
walk and shit, and I'm like, "Oh, I
yeah,
love that. It's so fucking unnatural, like, perfect." Like, those fucking, like, weird like fucking disjointed, disconnected, like half seizure moments that
yeah. Mhm.
movements that it fucking goes through. I'm like, cool, that's fucking interesting. Like, and yeah, that face, dude. Like, okay, this is
Yeah.
perfect. This is exactly how like a great. Well, I mean,
I mean,
we're fucking hyping it up,
just
but
seeing the trailer. Yeah, we are, but I mean, I will say that like the trailer itself kind of almost lends itself that it might be like a twist at some for something. I don't know.
mm,
It just hints at it. I don't know exactly what
right.
it is, what they're doing,
Um,
but
they're the
that's
cuckoo ones.
it's cuckoo. Yes, they're all cuckoo.
um We did
Let's say
talk about.
one more thing that you got. Go ahead. You want to talk about one
Oh
more?
no, I was going through. I was gonna bring up long legs next, but no,
Oh
you
yeah,
go
no.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was trying to look at this one just to see like what it was about, kind of thing, and I actually really like the, when you first bring it up and like she's going through, she opens the book. Was it the I got it right here, the like guide to the 9 circles of hell or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I saw that in the trailer and I just laughed. I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely going to be some cheeseball, like like tongue in cheek bullshit. Hopefully, I don't know. I I not knowing a damn thing about it necessarily, I thought it looked pretty cool. Saw that one again when I went to go check out Immaculate. That was one. I
Mhm.
was surprised by how many cool fucking trailers they had, because starting it, like I had to go through the like dog shit commercials or whatever. So there was like 4 car commercials. There was a fucking really like horrible fucking promotion for the fucking like Ghostbusters Ghost Trap popcorn box, which I wanted until I saw that fucking commercial like preview. I was like, this is get out of here. You guys ruined it. It sucked.
Can I ask you a question? What theater did you watch it in?
I went to go check it out at Regal Cinema.
Oh, I haven't been to one of those in a long ass time. Yeah.
It's nice. It's like it's right down the road, behind the fucking HEB. So it's like
Mhm.
I got out of there and we went to go get groceries. And so like as we're walking through the fucking like grocery store at HEB, we're looking for food, and I'm talking to my brother about like the plot of the movie, and I'm describing like as like there's people around us, like I'm describing how like people died, or like how this chick got like in vitroed, and
Yeah.
and like, and I was sort of self-conscious about it, realizing as I'm saying these things out loud that there's people around me and shit, and there's
Right.
like children and like fucking family and stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, so she stabbed him in the neck, and then like she crushes the baby's head, like sort of things, and I'm just looking at people like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Whatever. And
It's all right.
uh,
Whatever. It's all good.
yeah. Um,
I think the last thing we'll bring up that we're talk about is we'll bring up the AI thing, considering the late night with the devil
yeah.
situation.
I mean,
From my understanding, with the use of AI is, I mean, there's been a whole thing going on with the fact that like I know studios wanted to use AI to kind of like almost steal the likeness of people,
yeah, that's
uh,
exactly what
and to use
they're
it
doing.
in
They're
perpetuity to like forever.
right.
That
So
I'm completely against.
steal, because like it's a
Steal.
part of the actors' contracts now, where there's like, yeah, we're gonna take your likeness and use it forever, and there's like, fuck off,
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, we don't have to pay you for this either, like, or if we do, it's gonna be nothing, like they're always, it never fails to frustrate me, like, and it's not even just the movie industry, it's most fucking media and or like
Yeah.
technology industries, uh the lengths that these fucks will go to cut corners and save money, like, and
Mhm.
by that I mean like fucking screwing over the employees, the fucking like
Yeah.
people that help them get all of this shit going, and it's like
Uh,
like,
well, regarding the late night with the devil,
they used like a
yeah,
couple
that
of
what they
images,
did is
right?
they used AI for 3 still images, and that was like the
Yeah,
in between
but like
of the segments. And I know some people out there are getting a little up in arms about the fact that they did this and how
that
could they
seems
do this and
relatively
all that kind of stuff.
harmless.
And that's the thing I wanted to mention is that like they said themselves like they used AI, they experimented with it, and then they kind of tweaked the images to make them the way they
Yeah.
would like. Now
So,
that I mean, you take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it is a studio,
yes.
but but
Mhm.
I personally don't. The way I was starting to like kind of see it was that they were saying that AI kind of steals from past images to kind of create its own image.
Right.
And realistically, for this particular scenario, I mean, we're not getting too deep of them stealing the likeness of actors themselves, but I say that doesn't an artist do that anyways?
Depends. Yes and
I
no.
mean, it's not that they're like really ripping off, but like they're taking influence. And mind you, it's not necessarily taking bits and
Yeah.
pieces off of art.
Greatest.
But I will say this all for like musicians also, because technically musicians rip songs from the past to make their stuff now.
I mean,
And
it's
granted, there has been like
inspiration. You know,
there has
it
been lawsuits
depends.
and stuff because they sound either too much like songs in the past. But I mean, like I don't for this particular instance, I don't see it as a that big of a deal. And I wanted to ask you about it because I mean, like you, as of now, like when I create like the thumbnails and stuff, I'm not I'm taking like the poster and just putting it behind us. I mean, I'm not selling these images or anything. They're just kind of like as clickbait to
Right. Well,
watch
you're not
our
trying to
shit,
take
you
credit
know?
for it as something new
Right.
either, or like market it and
Right.
make
And,
money
I
off of
mean,
it
I could say like
necessarily.
that. And I mean, I take other images, stock images that people made, you know, and like do that kind of stuff. So I mean, I don't see how much difference it is from them doing this. You know, like if you take AI to like compile an image and then you're like, well, it's kind of like that, but I want to like mess with it a little bit more because
So
I guess the end result isn't exactly entirely AI. It's also AI and
right,
human
right.
interaction. So I mean,
So I generally am not against using AI. It's just it all depends on the context. Like how you mentioned, a lot of people, or rather, a lot of uses of it is that they will have something created and then they will go in themselves and tweak it and add it. But actually, that sort of makes it their own in that sense when they draw upon that. Where like it falls into the bullshit zone is where people will straight up be like, okay, okay, I want um, Big Bird, but I want him drawn in the style of like Picasso. And here, let me upload all of these Picasso prints into this database to have it compile these. And kabloom, I'm an AI. Like the phrase that they use is they're AI artists,
yeah.
which is bullshit.
Mhm.
Because the difference, I'd say, I mean, it is kind of a shaky ground, which is why you have a line that you reach or they can reach where you cross it into straight up plagiarism, where it's like,
Right,
okay, this
right.
is exactly like one to one, the fucking um, Mona Lisa or some crap, but like instead where you change it is like when it's used or becomes like a reference or an homage, where it's like the image for fucking that they would use for the cover, like for example Pride and Prejudice. Now the easiest example to that would be Pride for the fucking little, I don't remember if it was actually made into a TV series or a movie, but I know it was a book, the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies,
Mhm.
right? The cover for that is almost identical to the first one, with the exception that their goddamn faces are falling the hell apart.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
all zombied up. Like I like seeing that kind of stuff because that like is it isn't a ripoff necessarily. It's a direct reference to the original, but
Mhm.
it's their own take on that, which is fine. I think the phrase that follows that is highest imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Mhm.
Uh, but again, like that's not the same as plagiarism, as
Right.
copying something. And it
That's
because
kind
it's
of
created by a person
right, but
necessarily, that is where that fucking like distinction is made, because that person has the leeway to like push it closer or further away from like the original
mhm,
source. An AI program does not. You fucking
mhm,
tell it, all right, do this, and it does it. Like it's
right.
like math, and it does not think for itself. It does not. It's not a.
Yet.
It's not. It's not. No, not yet. It's not Skynet yet. We're because we're all still alive. It. It's not exactly the same because there is no. Um, there is like no, I guess, sort of limit to how much an AI can copy as opposed to a person
Right.
like doing it themselves, an actual artist doing it themselves, without, because that artist has the conscious fucking realization that okay, this, this is like, it's not even, this isn't my work anymore. Like, I'm literally just fucking taking this and just doing it again, kind of thing. A program cannot, or rather, in this style of program is not set up for that. Uh, and I think companies, they don't, again, the executives, they don't give a shit about any of that sort of thing. All they care about is like, oh cool, I don't have to hire as many artists, or I don't have to hire as
Right.
many actors. I can just take these faces, or take these, like, works of art, or like, music. uh well, I mean, the easiest one for me, like the music, would be like if somebody samples a shitload of older, like 60s, 70s music, and then they fucking like use it in their own like hip hop video or something.
Mhm.
And it's like, I can understand like using bits and pieces, but then if you sit there and it's like a minute of something, of like just straight up like, an older fucking song, it's like, come on, like there's no imagination to that. It's
Right. Well,
just
like just for instance, like what we do here, like on YouTube, whenever we do reactions and stuff, there's a whole like fair use angle. Even when I'm putting clips of
right.
movies and stuff on overlaying some of our videos and whatnot,
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm trying to keep it to a certain point where I only play
Right,
like a certain
because
amount because
we
we're
will get
commenting on it.
copyright,
Right.
right, stricken by that shit. And like those are laws, and those are, like, guidelines that have been established. Those
Yeah.
things are all there to keep everyone in check. Like, I mean, they can get sort of pushed around left and right, um depending on like whatever sorts of gray area, again, like, talking about homages and inspirations. Some things can fall into, like, it can be argued a little bit in either direction, but that's not the same with artificial intelligence, that is just basically, uh like a I wasn't thinking of photo manipulation, but it's just basically a database of collage, fucking media,
Mhm.
that it assembles, like Lego blocks and shit almost, and spits it out. Like, there is no imagination in there. The idea, I think, that AI artists want to try to use is that they're the imagination, but the thing is, it's not. That it's not true, because there's no technique to that. They're literally writing out a prompt and having it being like the work, done for them and converted.
But what
I
did you say? Like, I mean, granted, you're all like you have like samples, like you're just taking samples from different
Mhm,
things, but like the prompt itself is kind of almost the brushstroke in this sense, because I mean, you're not necessarily physically drawing the lines or coloring in and stuff like that,
mhm.
but you're prompting, and you gotta think of the particular prompt to use, and mind you, that is also allowing the AI to kind of like
It's
tweak
doing the
and do
work
that.
for you.
Yeah,
I
but
would say that, like,
it's doing the work, but it's not really doing it on its own. Like
right,
you have
you're
to kind of
behind the wheel,
constantly,
kind of telling it.
yeah, yeah.
I would say yes, but the thing is, in that, uh again, because you're only giving it a prompt of something, like, you're telling it what to do, it's still not you. It's like you being, um like, an art director or a music director, and like sort of trying to tell, like, so, like a fucking, what are they called? Wow, I'm blanking on this. A conductor for a symphony, like, they're the ones in charge, and they might like assemble the pieces that are to be played, but they don't play them. They're fucking performed by
Well, I
the
mean
players, so that
that's where I get
it
talk about like that gray area, because I mean they would be they consider themselves artists, and they're not,
right. But the
because
thing is, that is
they technically have the training.
right.
They're just not, they just assemble the pieces, and people like play the instrument.
They have to control the flow of the fucking piece. They have to control, like, how it blends together, whatever sorts of styles or whatever kinds of
But
instruments that
would
they're
that
working with.
equate to someone who's writing the prompt though? Like that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't think so, only because it is not possible yet to be that complicated,
Mhm.
and also because the media's, those particular translations are not relatable. You're taking, like, a sort of, it's like being a writer and, for a movie, and instead of like having the experience of like being able to direct that movie, being the director, and knowing like, okay, this is the shots that I need, this is like the score that I need, all of those actual like supervisory leadership fucking like skills are not there. It's just sort of like giving a child the sort of powers of over everything, I guess, the control over everything, but they have no training necessarily, or they don't have the skill sets that are required. I think it's mostly,
Well, see,
again, doing that work for them, like,
but that's the thing I'm
so
saying is that like
it's kind of
technically,
tricky.
I think technically you still would have to have some sort of skill set or creativity in your mind to create these particular prompts in order
Maybe
for you to kind of generate the image. Because I mean, like if you create a bad prompt, you're gonna
it's
come up
gonna
with a
look like
bad
dog
image,
shit,
you
yeah.
know.
And I've
And
read about
you as a
people
creative person also have to think of ways to kind of uh, manipulate your
fine tune it,
words
yeah.
in order to get the images that you want. And I know it's not like you do it on the first try and that's it. They're probably going through multiple things,
So
multiple prompts, multiple like tests to determine whether or not this is exactly what they want. And then
so
again,
I
you have to kind of like tweak it.
yeah, I think a lot of the difference, again, is in how that typing prompt, that writing is transformed into like a physical, or rather,
Yeah.
actual representation of what they're trying to put out. Um, a lot of it has to do with them not actually doing the work, I'd say, because you cannot, or rather, if you want to have it in that sense, then it needs to be its own category. It shouldn't be like AI artist. It should be like AI, like it needs to be like reorganized to something like AI, like writer, Imagineer, or some shit like that kind of stuff. Like, because
Yeah, well, I mean, there's books out there that people have written already that
mhm.
show you how to kind of elaborate on your prompt style when it comes to like ChatGPT and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there have been assholes already out there that have like straight up put books out for on fucking Amazon that were like they were generated by AI.
Mhm.
That fucking Willy Wonka Fire Festival shithead apparently
But see, that's what
did something like that.
that's something where I would say that the person who did that didn't have the skill set in order to create a I guess the thing they initially wanted, like that wasn't gonna cause like whatever nonsense it did.
So
I don't really know the
it does
background and stuff like
fall, it
that.
does sort of fall in, like you said, into the gray area, but I think the way it should be fucking prefaced, or like maybe set up on the totem pole, is that an AI artist is some, because I think they try to refer to it as the democratization of art or whatever, when they talk about what kind of tools the non-layman is given to mess with this. And it's like, that's the kind of fucking mentality that like people that cheat in video games use, as opposed to like learning how to play the game. Like they will like use some kind of like infinite bullets or infinite life and say, well, because I do this because like it's fun and I don't have the time to like learn how to play this game and get good at it, so it's like it's a cheat, like they're
Mhm.
bypassing the time that you have to spend to develop these skills. It is,
Right.
I think, kind of it's I guess the thing I don't care
A
for
shortcut, like
it's a shortcut, yeah. Like, and as you know, with any of those kinds of things, like, it's bullshit, like, in that sense. You're not gonna have
now, can I say this to you? For instance, if you have someone who's giving someone direction on what, like, say I have the artist here, and I'm telling them, "This is what I want, so I want you to draw something up." They draw something. I'm like, "That's not exactly what I want, so I want you to tweak
right.
this part."
So you have to work at it.
Like,
No, that's exactly the relationship you have. I've done those exact contracts before. But that's what that is. That's a contract,
right, but I'm also saying, yeah, because I mean they're doing it for free.
you're talking about it in the sense of that person is writing out an idea, and the artist is the AI in this sense, like trying
Yeah.
to create it.
But you are paying.
I'd say
The thing is, you're
yes,
paying somebody.
it's
You're paying
similar, but
someone though.
again, the difference in that is that you're paying someone for their
Yeah.
skills that
Right.
they have developed. The AI has no like, you know,
I
it
don't have to
doesn't take
pay
the
the
time to
AI.
learn
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's literally you putting all of these images into a database, and
Yeah.
it's computing math for you to spit out these images.
Well,
Um, so it's definitely like kind of a cheat code, and
it's very much this is like a gray area and the kind of like
mhm.
discussion that we're having with like this particular
It's really hard to
movie.
categorize it.
I wouldn't say that this the Late Night with the Devil should be like punished or like criticized necessarily
No,
for
because
doing that
it's
because
three fucking little images. Like that's
yeah.
nothing.
And I mean,
Uh,
we don't know the extent like necessarily what they did and how they tweaked it themselves
There,
to
if
make
you
this,
wanted to use like
you
an
know.
example of something that was a bit more egregious, from what I understand, the intro for that Marvel was it Invasion or some shit, the one with the like aliens. It was the TV series
Okay, did they use
with
AI for that or
yeah. Apparently, the intro was AI art, and you look at it and you can kind of sort of see like how it looks a little like I don't know. There's always a little jank to the AI art as well. Like it's not perfect by any means. They have to go in and really tweak the hell out of it. Otherwise, you see things where it's like hands clipping through other hands, or like something like with like 10 fingers on it, or
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
there's always something off about it because again, like it's
Or
buggy like any fucking software.
Donald Trump having a good old time with African Americans and stuff.
Oh god damn it. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That shit is just ridiculous.
But I guess I just wanted to bring this up because I wanted to just kind of flesh it out a little bit because I had my thoughts. There's this, I guess a line that I don't think AI should cross as far as even with the
Right.
studios and
Uh,
the actors and
I
stuff like that.
I just think that yeah, there's a big difference between like having an artist with that has put in the time to hone their skills, um and like adjust their inspirations and their
Mhm.
imaginations, their fucking like their themes and everything to that, because it's a fucking person, as opposed to AI, which takes all that out of it and literally turns it into an equation. It's just
Right.
like picture plus picture equals stuff, and like that's kind of what you're doing. Yes, you can fine tune that. You can make it look more interesting and along your lines, but in the end, like, you're not creating art. You're tweaking a fucking algorithm, a code, necessarily. And that's, I don't know, that I can't see that as actual art. I mean, it's fun, and like you can use that as a template, to like go in there and physically fucking manipulate whatever it is
Yeah.
you're trying to create. That I'm fine with for the most part. But when some asshole sits there and like, oh yeah, I just typed in this prompt for like 3 hours, and now like the Scarlet Witch from the Marvel movie has three tits and they're perfect. Uh, I'm an AI artist, guys. I've read comments from a lot of people that work within like the movie and art industries, talking about how those skills also do not translate into an actual job. Everybody that does these
Yeah.
kinds of things, they're doing it just to like fuck around and fun. Like, but you're not going to get hired, for an art studio or like an art firm, and expect to be able to translate those skills into like working with whatever kinds of demands or requests you're contracted for. I think there was a um and I mean, if you try to, it's disingenuous as fuck. Like, there are people out there that are flat out like trying to put out art as their own, saying, "Oh yeah, I did this," when it's like they're full of shit. They put it into an AI, and like, here's the actual artist that you ripped off to fucking do this.
Right. Right.
One of them that came to mind, I was reading about recently. I forget the fucker's name, but it was Todd McFarlane, the creator of the Spawn comic.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah.
contest, I believe, for the best artist or whatever, best like couple of artists would submit a comic book cover title, and like he would pick and choose, like, all right, I'm gonna use these ones. And one of the guys that fucking won, I forgot his name, some
He did
stupid
like an
shit.
AI thing,
Yeah,
or
yeah, he did. And like he was supposedly putting it out as his own art, and people fucking like found out because like he would post on, I think, like Twitter or some shit, those pictures, and it's like, you didn't draw this. This style belongs to this other person who's already done like this Spawn cover art. And the fucking guy was one of the winners. And like that's, to me, that's just like, okay, you can't compare your, like, if you're gonna be in a contest, it can only be other AI fucking prompters. It cannot,
right,
you
right, right.
cannot be mixing them. Like if I was gonna say like, okay, this is where it's, it's fair, it's like have it like that, or at the very least, say that this is not something I like drew myself. This is something I had, I basically commissioned fucking program to do for me. And like if you make that distinction, those kinds of distinctions, like I think that there's more leeway to like accept it. But you cannot fucking
They
compare
got to be
that shit.
separated.
Yeah, there needs to be that
There's got to be a
distinction,
distinction,
dude.
yeah, between the two.
You
Yeah,
cannot absolutely fucking like expect anyone to take you seriously. You cannot be expect to be like putting yourself up there with you know like actual factual people that have like done and created these works of art, and these
original,
fucking, yes, the
specifically.
originals. Like you're not, like, you are the exact definition of someone that copies something to like try to make it their own version, but it's still a fucking copy. Like
Right.
there's no like personal fucking like touches or nuance in there. Like again, you're tweaking a prompt, you're tweaking uh your expectations, not of a person themselves, like as in again the client and artist fucking relationship. You're tweaking the relationship between the client and a computer, kind of thing. So it's yeah, like it needs to be like they've really got to iron some shit out to like properly fucking like describe all of this, and to like
I
give
just
it its
I
own
just think
category.
at this point, if you're gonna do any of that stuff, there should be like a bit of an asterisk
Mm-hmm.
by anything that's
Mm-hmm.
by the art or any sort of like artist who's used AI.
And I think, again, going back to what we were talking about with fucking like uh, uh, movie studios or like music studios taking and trying to create their own shit by copying, like actually copying other people and saying, "Oh, this is fair use." This is like, no, it's fucking not. None of that is. You're literally stealing someone's like fucking styles and trying to put that as your own. Like that's not the same at all, because
Yeah,
again, your tool, your method of translating this is not translating, it's copying. When you're fucking telling a goddamn
I think
calculator, to put that shit out
I
for
think the
you.
main thing that we're trying to like get to is the fact that these AI artists or like the AI that is used is just not translating over to someone who's getting paid to do
Yeah,
these jobs,
it's not the
and
same.
they're just
And them trying to say it
pulling out
is, trying
that
to
person,
compare it,
like,
is bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not, and
If
I
they
mean,
want to use that, like, okay, but say that,
yeah, yeah,
like, okay, this is
just
me
say what you're
doing this.
doing, right?
Like, I think the skill sets, I don't want to say like are less than like what a normal traditional like artist or performer or anything like that is, but it basically is, because this technology is so new. If you've got
Yeah,
somebody maybe that's been like doing the AI art for like 10, 15, 20 years or something, and
mhm,
all of a sudden like they're able to like say they're able to mix all of these like different styles and different like motifs, and like, I don't know, like possibly create something original based on their 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 direction. That's still like that makes them a director. That doesn't make them an artist,
right,
because you have that disconnection between them and the creation of any kind of media. It's
mhm.
not them doing the work necessarily. The work, like they're putting in time, and like they're very good at what they can do and get produced, but it still like has that shortcut feeling in there where it's like, you're somebody that did what you did in that amount of time would have taken like twice as long to actually learn these things,
Right.
kind of thing.
Mhm.
And again, like, you know it's shortcuts are bullshit. That's what I think for that.
Well, I think it's. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that like it is inevitable because big companies, big corporations always want
Yeah,
to cut corners.
yes they do, and that's
So
what's going to happen.
now that the technology is getting better and it's getting better faster
It is.
than anything we've ever seen,
It really is.
and sure enough, like AI is gonna not just uh infiltrate like film and music and all that kind of stuff. It's
I
gonna
think
go
there
into
should
like
be like definite boundaries, or like limits
right.
to what they do with it,
But
and
I'm
like
just I'm
try
just
to
saying
poke.
it's gonna infiltrate your normal everyday thing, like job, like retail,
Oh yeah.
grocery stores, all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. And before you
It's
know it,
it's
no one's
everywhere.
gonna get a job. No one's gonna be able to get a job, and that's when they have to give us a UBI, and then we have to just live like that. And then
Oh man, that would be fucking
however
great.
actually can, I mean, they may be even able to use AI for like doctors and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that.
it
Like just go
has.
in there and the surgery and that's
Right,
it.
yeah, it helps them be more precise. I mean, which is
Right.
kind of a thing that's already being used. There are like surgical robots that are like used, and like at some point like the doctor is just there with like a joystick, kind of tweaking it instead of reaching
Yeah.
in there and getting in there kind of things.
Or even
But
like those like small like bots that they like let loose on your body to kill like diseases and stuff like that. I
sure,
mean,
sure.
that might be that those are like I say good things, but I mean, that also puts this is just our future of like no one working ever. There's gonna be like a fucking dictator out there just like fucking saying, oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna be fucking President Camacho out there just fucking doing his thing and firing his
That's
guns and telling everyone to drink was it Rite Aid or whatever the fuck it's called?
Brondo,
Brondo.
the thirst mutilator.
Yeah.
Yes, it's what the body craves. It's what the body needs. I would agree with most of that, but again, it just depends on the context. AI within like the trade skills, within like medicine, within like I don't know, like infrastructure organization.
I'm just saying like AI like most jobs are not AI proof.
No, absolutely.
No, and
There.
that's
So
the thing is that
the sort of analogy that I was trying to think of that like talks about this, or does a good sort of comparison, is that it's a tool. When the cave men and women out there started making stone tools, eventually they were able to make metal tools, and so the stone tools were phased out. Those weren't, you know they became obsolete to a degree, right? Like even past that point, like certain things still stuck around. There were certain like advantages that some types of tools had over others, all the same. But like as these things progress, then you have like it became like guns, or became like nukes, like the larger and larger, bigger things.
yeah.
And so just like it's not necessarily that like the technologies became obsolete. I guess in that sense, it's more that like they were innovated further, and so like this is just like the next step of a set of skills, another tool that people are learning to use. That I mean, and so yes, uh, at some point in the future, maybe we'll all be starting our stoves with like flamethrowers or some shit kind of thing, and we don't know how to like rub the sticks together, that kind of roughing it sort of thing.
Well, you're talking about like
But
basic survival skills will be completely
yeah,
lost on us, you know?
yes, but like then but the thing to that is that, again, because we've had like a progression or whatever of that particular technology, it's just the previous things, they're unnecessary, right? Like we need those things anymore. It's not necessarily bad that we don't understand it or we're unable to go back to those particular basics necessarily. um I don't think that'll make us useless in the end. It'll just make it so that we're not fucking good at everything, which no one is to begin with. We're just it just sort of moves uh it just moves um the spotlight, I guess, to a little further in a different direction. That's not really the fucking example I was trying to think of, but like our focus or whatever is
Right.
changed. Is changed. It's fucking you know uh, progressed into something else that's just a it's needed, I guess, for our times or whatever. Like you've got to change with everything else, and you shit happens with that. I suppose that's fine. It isn't always the best, but like that's kind of how that goes. Nothing's perfect, and this is definitely like one of those examples of people trying to uh, sort of change up what used to be, I guess, an accepted form of work or of creativity or of like use. I I I can see how that sort of I can see the good and the bad in that, because it is interesting, but again, like within the context, it isn't to say that like it's better than what we were doing before necessarily, or rather
Right.
superior, I
Well,
should
the thing
say.
is that regardless of what people try to come up with AI stuff, depending on how minuscule it is, or to the grand scale that they're trying to create like a whole movie
Yeah.
out of it. I mean, then you're gonna see like the result, and I mean, we can see like certain films that come out that are so generic and there's not much passion in it, and you could tell
Yeah, and they
those seem
fail.
more like
They
AI
fail.
related films, and I'm pretty sure. I know this was like speculated. I don't know how true this is that they were saying that that imaginary movie was very AI
Hmm.
heavy. I don't
Really?
know if that's true or not. As is opinions and speculation, but I mean, who knows? But that is to say that, like, regarding this Late Night with the Devil movie, like, we should not necessarily. I mean, this is just kind of an experiment, and they're kind of like taking some images, not the whole movie itself. The whole movie is an original idea that
Hmm.
is also kind of paying homage to like certain other movies as well from the past, and
Right.
things that came before it. So,
It
I
just
mean,
depends.
I
Yeah.
still just watch the
It's
movie still.
very
I mean, I just think it's a good
particular.
movie that you should
Right.
enjoy,
Yeah,
and
I totally want to check that out.
those images that you see on screen shouldn't necessarily take you out and be like, "Oh, AI, bleh, I'm walking out," like, get over it.
Yeah, no,
But, I mean,
that's
this
just
is this is
fucking
a
like
complicated issue that, is not gonna be solved so quickly, and,
no, because it's just too fucking it's too it's too new. Like
it
it
is
has
too
been around
new,
long
but
enough.
we have seen the future of what certain studios and corporations have in store for it, and it doesn't look good for the general actor, actresses, artists out
It's
there.
way too recently developed. And yeah,
Yeah,
like and
and the studios, being the greedy as they are, want to take advantage now.
yeah, the
Hurts you
arguments
that
that
way
it's being
as
involved in
yeah.
are bullshit. Like it's not.
Yeah, the technology is too new to like make all these grandstanding statements in like how they want contracts to be written out for artists and stuff like that, or actors and whatever. Because as things progress, there the clause that's in the contracts and stuff could be so ambiguous that it could cover so many things that there's no way any sort of artist or actor can even like say anything if
Yeah,
they
it needs to
agree to
be.
it, and they're pretty much fucked. And then
The
that's it.
distinction needs to be made for like
Yeah,
what is considered theft, like what is
right.
considered or where this fits into copyrights. Which, as it is, our copyright laws are garbage and trash and have been for such a fucking long time. It would be cool if this was like the impetus for like all of that shit being addressed and fixed. Like
Right.
it'd be
It
kind of
won't be.
funny. It won't be, probably
There's
not.
gonna
It's gonna just get worse.
it's the language that's used that is probably gonna be the worst thing for this scenario because like I said, like they'll make it so ambiguous that like it can cover so much ground since it's so new. And then like as new technology comes up, they might even cover that new technology or like this artist or actor and stuff like that to where they're gonna eventually they're gonna say like, well, yeah, technically you're in our movie, so we own you, we own your likeness, and that's it. It's over. If
Yeah.
you ever want to act again, then you're gonna have to just give us your likeness forever and ever, and that we're not gonna pay you for it because we're paying you for this movie that you're,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then that's where it gets kind of like really fucky, and I don't like it. But
Yeah.
that is to say, check out Late Night with the Devil. It's not.
I think it's
It's a good
coming
it's a good
out
movie.
on Shutter pretty
It's
soon.
Shutter.
No.
I don't know how soon that'll be. I think it might be in May. I'm not too sure. But
Um.
um, is there anything else you want to add or anything else you want to talk about, Roland? Because I mean, that was pretty much it for me as far as going over a
Uh,
few things, especially this whole AI nonsense.
I think. This looks like Late Night with the Devil will be streaming mid-April on Shutter.
Mid-April.
Pretty
Well,
soon.
that's
I know.
close enough. Yeah,
That Imagination movie, I think, by the end of
Imaginary.
this by the end of this week is going to be streaming or not streaming. It's going to be available for rent on Prime on
I
Amazon.
think it's already available. To be honest with you, I think it's
Oh
already.
yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Oh fuck. Okay. I mean that'd be great.
I
Um.
will not. I 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 will not pay $20 to rent that thing. It has to be at least $2 or $3 for me to rent it. I'm not gonna fucking pay
Yeah.
that much money for it.
Yeah.
No fucking
Um.
way.
So I guess just to sort of end, there were the most of the previews that I'd seen checking out Immaculate were from the same studio, Neon, right? I think is the name of them,
Yeah,
and they've got quite a few pretty cool looking.
Neon and Bleecker Street are two. I feel like are up and coming rivals to like an A24 because almost like A24 is even becoming more
Yeah,
mainstream.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Bleecker Street and
Absolutely.
Neon are the ones that are like kind of up and coming and trying to like
What is
almost take the reins of
this?
the because if I see like an A24 movie or like the logo and it's a horror movie, I'm gonna watch it. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like where Neon and like Bleecker Street, they're kind of like they put out a movie and if we know the quality that they're gonna give us, then we're gonna just go and watch that. That's kind of like the way I see it. Because if I see Blumhouse, I'm like, that's shit. Now I see it. I'm like, I used to think, oh, Blumhouse movie, I'll go check it out. But now I'm like, it's gonna be garbage probably, more than likely.
Yeah. I think Blumhouse is also going to be doing the Spawn movie if that ever happens, which that's been talked about for
That's
years.
shaky
But
ground
I
right there.
believe like they had said that oh yeah, because fucking Todd
Oh,
McFarlane has
by
been
the
doing
way,
that
did you
fucking
know that
forever.
the Halloween property has kind of gone over to is it Miramax
Yes, they're going to make a TV
TV
series, right?
show? Yeah.
Yeah, I will see that. I would like
I'll
to see
check it out,
that.
yeah. As long as that
Um,
fucker is not involved in any way, like still head of
yeah.
Miramax or the
Oh,
Weinsteins or whatever,
shit
like
for fans. I don't
yeah.
I don't know. Like I think he's still pulling shit from prison.
Well, that's the thing is that like if he
Somehow.
is, like I wouldn't wanna like unfortunately I wouldn't wanna watch necessarily because
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Don't
want
worry. We'll pirate it.
there you go. Let's not
Fuck
pay for
him.
it. Yeah.
No,
Let's not
fuck.
pay for it. Fuck 'em.
Let's see. I'm trying to look for like just other interesting looking movies that sort of seemed like I don't know if that one came out. Oh no, it did. Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, like we really couldn't go through all of them, and they all look fucking cool.
Right. Well, we'll do another thing here and we'll talk about some more stuff that's coming out.
Maybe later. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
man, that pretty much covers it. I know got a bit ranty there with the AI stuff, but like it's really fucking hard to like, nail down the specifics of like what is and what isn't acceptable for this shit because it's just so like such a fucking novel, emergent goddamn technology. And
Right.
of
And I
course
mean
there
we don't know like the logistics of like
We
certain
don't
contracts and
like
the way things are,
there are
the way the
no
studios are talking about.
we're it's like back in the just the wild west of bullshit kind of thing where this
Think
is
of the Wild West of like Napster and LimeWire and all that kind of shit. Whenever like
yeah.
peer-to-peer music sharing started and how crazy
Hmm.
that was, what
Hmm.
was acceptable and what not, what wasn't, people were saying, "Oh, well, Lars is a piece of shit," and then we knowing that yes, that's true.
Yes.
But I mean, did he have a
Did he have a point? Like,
point? Yeah,
yeah,
he kind of did,
he kind of did.
fucker,
Yeah.
fucker.
I mean, like, but that's also as as a consequence of like the music industry cheaping out on their artists.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
granted Metallica was rich as fuck by that point already. Other people were, who are to this day getting exploited, for their movies and their music and like
Yeah, but
getting
I mean,
fucked
most
over.
artists nowadays just fell in line with that whole thing. I mean, they had no choice.
Yeah, they
They had
didn't.
no choice.
They want like you suffer for your art. As stupid and cheeseball as that sounds, it's like
But
there are
the only
reasons for
people,
that.
quote unquote, suffering for their art are those like no name artists that have put stuff out
Well,
there,
yeah. I mean,
and
because
it's
like
it's
eventually they try to they try to be successful with
right,
that.
right. But I mean, like the odds of even like nowadays
Oh yeah,
musicians being successful is
absolutely.
very slim.
It is or it. I mean, like it was. I mean, like by our generation, it was already like completely diluted to fuck with as many people putting out as much music and as much art and as much fucking movies as they were.
Mhm.
So like it's only gotten worse better, I guess, as far as that goes, sure. I say worse, I say better because like we get more stuff. I say worse
Yeah,
because the
they don't get
companies are
yeah
using
screwing
that,
over. Yeah.
yeah, as a way to just like fuck over people and exploit them, which is
Well, I mean, like the like Spotify came out, I was like really excited about it because I mean that just means I get to listen to all my music all the time.
yeah.
But you're also not realizing that that's not paying
Those
their
nobody on there
artists.
makes money.
Yeah,
Yeah, with few exceptions like Joe Rogan or whatever the fuck kind of people.
yeah,
Most artists on that platform, they're making pennies at best. Fucking Bruce
mhm.
Dickinson of all people had an article recently where he was talking about that exact problem and why it sucks because all of these people are creating like fucking awesome content, awesome fucking music, awesome, just great stuff, and they're not being compensated at all for it. You know?
Right, and I mean, I wouldn't say that's the fault of the fans,
Mm-mm,
because they
mm-mm.
want to listen to it. They're going to listen to it regardless.
Yeah,
But that's the fault of the greedy corporations and
right. Because they
how
fucking hire them.
and the fact that like things have gotten expensive. People don't make that much money, so you gotta like, what is the best way I'm gonna spend my dollar to get the maximum amount of pleasure,
Yeah,
musically speaking?
we
I
have
mean,
to
yeah,
be
there's some people like myself who buy albums, or buy CDs or cassettes and stuff
sure.
like that.
No, I
For
love
a
that.
lot of it's for novelty. A lot of it's for like I just like different copies of things that I
Yeah,
like.
absolutely.
So not that it's not necessary, but like in my mind, there's gonna be a point in time when streaming is not available to me because the world's gone to shit, and I still have my albums available.
That
Or
is that has actually been a pretty big problem that folks are talking about lately about how physical media is still prevalent as fuck because when the streaming services go down, not even just streaming, like say you bought a movie on Amazon and you have it on Prime, you paid
and
for
then
it,
yeah,
but if
you
they
pay
lose the
for you pay
license,
for like yeah, you pay
yeah, you
for
pay
like
for
a temporary
access,
license.
a
Yeah,
temporary license at best.
yeah.
And like if they decide to at any point, they can shut down your whole fucking library. I know Apple, I think, has done that with either their iTunes platform or one of those others because I've read that some folks have had albums or like access to
TV
whatever kinds of
shows.
things
Yeah.
that just like they paid for and it's like, oh, it's gone. It's like you know
Speaking of physical media, I guess this is one of the last things we can talk about here is that I don't have it. I'm not gonna get up and get it, but up there, I bought another steelbook, and it is Little Monsters. I
hmm,
found it at Walmart. If you know Little Monsters, the Fred Savage, Howie
yeah,
Mandel, movie.
Yeah.
I happened to see it at Walmart amongst the scattered few steelbooks that were still available because people are apparently buying them up. And
I mean, they're pretty cool.
I had to decide if I wanted the Oppenheimer steelbook, which was $50,
Ugh,
or
Jesus
it was a
Christ.
4K thing,
I mean, that's great.
and
You don't
did
have
I
a
want?
4K anything.
I don't,
I
but
don't
no, but it
really
has a
either.
4K and Blu-ray on
Yeah.
it, so you're getting both of them.
Sure.
But uh, I was kind of like, which is a movie that I wish I need to just have all the time? And I saw Little Monsters, and I was like, I love that movie. It's a steelbook. I like the art on it. I'm gonna get it. So I chose that one. I had another one with me. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was Kickboxer. It had a Kickboxer steelbook on there too.
Hmm.
Um,
Cool.
but yeah, and it has like a really golden shiny Van Damme on the front. Like that was nice.
Oh, the last movie I'd forgotten to mention that was cool was Abigail,
Oh,
the
that's coming out
fucking
soon. Yeah,
ballerina
the Ballerina
vampire,
Vampire.
dude.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yes. Wait, what? Return to Silent Hill. What is this? They're gonna make an. That's not. There's no way.
that's probably. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Oh, you fuckers.
Well, that'll be it. Again, if you like just these casual discussions, please like and subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you're watching on
I
YouTube
mean,
or if you're listening
yeah.
on any of the streaming platforms. Hopefully the audio sounds okay.
I'd
Because
really like to hear anyone's opinion about like the AI discussion stuff because like
yes,
I know I definitely didn't do a great job of just trying to articulate most of my problems and like concerns with it and interests. And so I mean, it's why it helps to chat with you about this shit.
it's
We
more
can
like our gut opinions with each other, but
yeah,
we
to
would
make
like some
sense of it.
outside
Yeah, because
voices.
I mean, like, I'd definitely be interested to hear what people think about that, like their perspectives, and if anything, that'll help me and help us, like, create a more like not sensible, like something that possibly makes a bit more sense, something that'll like resonate a bit more
Yeah,
uh,
your
logically.
opinions on like I even like this scenario with the Late Night with the Devil and that their
Yeah,
usage of AI. What did you think of the Crow trailer and the
yeah, or
other?
if like
Or do you have like a Crow? Are you one of those few out there that I've never
purist,
met him before that are like the Edward Furlong version? I mean, let us know because I would like to hear your reasoning
yeah.
for that because you might be crazy or you might be Edward Furlong himself. And you can let us know why your version is superior. Even though I don't think Edward Furlong would be that
No, but
egotistical.
he's probably pretty self-aware, and like
True.
I would love to like chat about that all the same. You
No,
know,
we should try and get Edward
he seems
Furlong
like a
on the
cool dude
podcast. Right?
for the most part. Yeah, he
Let's
seemed
get
like a
Edward
cool
Furlong
guy
on the
for the most part.
podcast. All right, that'll be it for us. So again, we'll see you next time. We got many things coming up, many reviews, all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. So, and any reviews that we do or that we have done in the past, give us your opinion on that.
Seems like
And
it's gonna be a pretty cool year.
so far, we had some good movies coming out. Last year wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't have that much
yeah,
hope.
no, dude. Like it's so weird, like about how it's kind of like you and I were talking about the other day, like how around this time, like usually the interesting shit kind of like dies off, and it's like nope.
Well, last year there's only 4 movies that I can recall that I was like really happy to watch, and that was Evil Dead Rise, uh, Dungeons and Dragons, among Honor Amongst Thieves,
The
Super
Mario
Mario
movie.
Brothers,
Yeah.
and Renfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. After that, everything kind of I was just not entirely. I mean, shit happened and stuff like that, but it still didn't keep me excited to watch much of anything after that.
And
So
now it's just like, okay,
yeah, I'm just
like
it's an
I just want to see
abundance of
everything.
overwhelmingly
I
it's an abundance of
absolutely want to like
overwhelmingly
what the
good,
fuck is going on?
potentially good movies out there, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch them. So
Yeah. And I mean like that's just for the theaters. There's a shitload of stuff coming out in
streaming too.
streaming, dude. Like
Sometimes it's just too much.
man,
Sometimes it's just too much. You can't
oh,
you
I
can't.
can only get so hard. But I'm willing to
I have a
try.
feeling that we might like die down sometime in the summer, which is fine because I always need to recoup from
Yeah,
all this
we
like
need to, but
craziness.
like I'm still thinking by that point we'll still be catching up.
Yeah, for
even.
sure. Yeah.
So like, it'll give us a chance to actually fucking see everything. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, easiest example is the fucking Fallout TV series on Prime. Fuck, with
Oh,
Walton
I did
Goggins.
just a real quick. I saw a trailer for Borderlands and literally looks like fucking Guardians of the Galaxy rip,
Yeah, yep,
rip.
yep.
It's a
Which
Guardians of the Galaxy rip,
I
dude.
I was thinking that was going to be trash and expecting it to be, but it looks like it's going to be amusing trash. You know, like
Mm,
I'm cool to see fucking Kate Blanchett in anything. You
yeah, I
know,
mean,
I'm cool to see fucking Jamie Lee Curtis in anything, and fucking Jack Black is in there too. He's the voice of the little robot, the shithead claptrap.
that's why I'm saying is like
Yeah,
fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. And
yeah,
then they have the
yeah,
soundtrack too. Give me a fucking break.
yeah.
They're just like copy the template of the
I
trailer for
mean, if
Guardians
it
of the
fucking
Galaxy.
works, if it fucking
If it
works,
works, then whatever,
good, because like that actually fits the theme of the game series itself. It's post-apocalyptic, like Western, it's type sci-fi. So
Mhm.
like a lot of that fits. I think so. Like I was expecting it to be trash. It probably still will be, but like it looks like I might enjoy this particular piece of shit. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, that'll be it. See you next time. Later.
Latest.